Notes on the game that just finished. Southern Illinois, a winner. Salukis have won 8 of their last 11 games, now 14-18 this season. And an overall MVC tourney record of 33-29, still over 500. Salukis now have a date in Saturday's semifinal with number 2 Indiana State. Sticking with the Salukis, Desmark Jackson scored in 35 straight games now, dating back to last season. On the UNI side, Seth Tuttle tied his career high with 4 blocks and set a career best with 17 rebounds. That's a career high. And also the most boards in a tourney game since Jackie Carmichael of Illinois State got 15 back in 2012. Tonight's attendance is on the box score, 9,037. I believe the first session was over 10,000. I'll try to get attendance figures if they come up here during the 2 sessions. us. They have a date with Indiana State. Tomorrow is semifinal. Desmar Jackson and Anthony Bean represent the student body. We're going to ask Coach Barry Hinson to start off with a statement, and then we'll have questions for just the two student athletes when Barry's done. Coach?
Missouri Valley Conference basketball. I mean, that's it. And I had no visions of grandeur at halftime. I just knew it would come down to the wire. I'm not going to tell our players that, but I've just been in this tournament. I've been in here a long time. This is my 11th. I knew who the guy was on the other bench, and I knew they would do something spectacular. They went to the triangle in 2. What a great move by Ben, and they got back into the game. But the one thing they never did is they never took the lead. And we felt like it was important for us to get off to a good start. And guys, I've been in this tournament a lot. That's the best first half of basketball that I've ever coached a group of young men. And I told them that. And we just got to find a way to not make it so interesting. But Des kept coming in the timeout and said they need ratings for the Valley tournament. Let's turn it over some more. So isn't that what you said, Des?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. And Anthony said, no, Des, I'll turn it over. All right, I'll let you guys ask questions.
Questions? Right here. David, take the second one right there.
Desmar, how much were you feeling it there, right from the opening tip?
I was feeling pretty good in the first half. I hit my first shot, and, that's always good. So, that got me going right there.
Desmar, can you just talk about the save, the ball that was going out of bounds? You never quit on it and got it back in the bounds and just happened to see Anthony. Did you see Anthony, or you're just trying to keep the ball in bounds?
I really didn't see Anthony. I was trying to knock the ball off the guy who was guarding me, but it barely missed him, and Ant was right there, luckily.
Yeah, I would agree with that, luckily.
Stay there.
If both of you guys could just talk about, you both had great games, but Bola has some great plays for you, and Tyler has some great plays for you to help seal the win. How happy were you to see them come through in their first tournament game?
Anthony, you first, please.
I thought it was good because last time we played Northern Iowa, Bola didn't have one of his greatest games, and you could tell before the game he was talking about how he was ready for it, he was focused, and he came out, and then you could tell it was a lot different than when we were at their place. He was a bowler that we're used to. He was getting rebounds, putbacks, things like that, and that was just Bola being Bola. And of course, Tyler's gonna play good. I think he's a super freshman. He just makes big plays and things like that.
Des, same question regarding Bola.
He's a big factor for us, because he hit the glass real hard, and he can get offensive rebounds and putbacks, and we definitely need him to play a good game for us to win, I feel like. And Tyler, he just got a big heart, man. If he's open, he's not gonna think twice about shooting a three-pointer, or he's not gonna think twice at all about driving or anything. He's a big time player.
Question in the back.
Tyler Dixon from the Daily Egyptian. Coach says every week, he's always asked, is this the turning point? What do you two players think? Do you think this is the turning point of your season right now?
Des, you go first this time.
Is this a turning point? Yeah, I definitely feel like we turned the corner. Last year we played on Thursday, we played on Friday this year. And this year we won the Friday game, so, that's big. I don't think that's been done in like a few years, so, this definitely could be the turning point. We just gotta keep it up.
Anthony, turning point?
Yeah, just like Des said, I think it's a turning point with all the things we've done this year, and of course being able to play on Friday, that's a big deal, and winning the game. But I still think we could play a little better. Just like come out in the second half, we could play a little better, and just take it one game at a time.
Back on the right.
Evan Collins, WIDB. Anthony, this is for you. Des had a really good first half, and then started struggling in the second half as they kind of tightened up the defense. Did you kind of go into the second half, trying to be like the second guy to Des scoring?
No, not really. It was just still the same because Des was hot. So my plan was just to keep getting the ball because he was knocking down shots. And then after that, it was just, when they went to the triangle too, I felt it got to us a little bit, but we were able to fight through it. And then, like Coach said, Tyler and Bola stepped up and got big shots and kept us in the game.
Next two questions are on the aisle right here.
Anthony, talk a little bit. It looked defensively like you guys attacked more on the perimeter than maybe you did a couple weeks ago when you played Northern Iowa, cutting off the passes, not giving up good looks. Is that correct?
Yes, that was part of our game plan, and of course coming in guarding Tuttle, because Tuttle he's a great player. So we just want to make sure we most importantly we're clogging up the lane for Tuttle because he's so good around the basket. So I thought that we did a great job on the perimeter and on the post.
Hey, both players, you and I had made 10 threes, I think, in their last 3 games. They're 4-22 tonight. How much of that was them? How much of that was you?
Des, first, please.
Well, we know that they're known for shooting threes, so you know, we definitely talked about them. Whatever. Oh, I thought you said stop talking. Nah, but we knew they're a big three-point team. You know, we definitely had a big focus on that, and we had a big focus on Tuttle. You know, to just dig on him, just to make it tough on him, because he played great the first 2 times we played him, and he actually played good today. He had 17 rebounds and 15 points.
Yeah, stay there.
Des, can you just talk about your 11 rebounds? Seemed like for most of the first half, you were trying to go for every rebound, it appeared.
Yeah, I was right by the ball, you know, so, you know, I just wanted to put the effort in and try to go get it. We need every rebound, so I was just trying to go get the rebounds.
Yep. Couple of minutes left in the session. Go.
Anthony, what was it feeling like for you guys when you and I was eating back away at that lead you had and then finally got it back to a tie game?
I thought that what was great about our team, we just stayed together when they started going on their runs, and when we went into the timeout, all the guys, nobody was down, everybody was together. We were all together talking to each other, telling them to keep our heads up, and most importantly, just keep getting stops. And I felt that we got the biggest stops of the game that kept us in the game, and we came down and delivered on offense.
Back on the left.
Des, what was that exchange with you and Devontae in the first half when Tuttle got 2 or 3 offensive rebounds and then scored?
No, it was just teammate talk. I just wanted me and Tay, we bump heads a little bit, but you know, it's all love on the court. I just want Tay to just try to grab every rebound, you know. So, you know, I just tried to tell him like, Tay, man, I think you could have got that rebound. So.
All right, gentlemen, we thank you for your time. We're going to dismiss you now, and we'll stay with Coach Hinson for a while longer. You can go get something to eat.
Let's go get those guys.
Thank you for your time. Questions for the coach? Right down here, first one.
Hey, Coach, these two guys went, I think, 15, maybe 16 minutes in the second half without scoring. Just how difficult is it for you guys when they're not getting anything, and what's your confidence level in the rest of your guys?
Well, I go back what I said earlier that, Ben and them and his staff, we knew they would make some adjustment. We didn't know it would be the triangle in 2. We've seen it. Guys, if you'll remember right, we missed some really good and easy shots, and then we got tight. And certainly when you get tight, you don't do very well. Tyler Smith-Peters is a phenomenal shooter, and he did not shoot the ball very well tonight at all. And I anticipate, and we've told Tyler all along, keep shooting it. I do believe this. I think in tournament play, you always have one game that you really don't play as well as what you would like, and you got to get that out of your system. And I think for us in the second half, hopefully we got that out of our system. But give them the credit, Stu. They did what, 2 guys are out there. But in all honesty, when it came right down to it, Tyler made free throws. Michael made a big basket. Bola got a huge rebound and a put back and made the free throw. And the best part of it was 2 of those guys are 9th graders. I mean, they're freshmen. And that just makes it that much better that those guys got that experience today.
What does this win mean for the team right now? Not just for the team right now, but for the season as a whole. You've all had a lot of ups and downs. What does this mean?
I think the question should be, what does it mean to our fans? Tyler, we've had a big drought. It's 2007 since we've been in the semis. We've had issues off the court. We've had issues socially. We've had major issues academically. We've had issues basketball. We've had issues with travel. We've had issues with a short head coach that ran his mouth at Murray State. And the question was asked tonight, have we turned the corner? I think Saluki basketball is trying to turn the corner. I'm not going to get overly optimistic because to me, you just got to find a way to continue to get better. But we've got a young team, and Dez certainly played like a senior today, and I thought Devontae played like a senior, and that was big for us. But I think the question should be asked of our fans, what does this mean to them? Because they're absolutely, besides our players, they're the most important thing.
Coach, Dez was basically a non-factor throughout most of the second half. He only had 3 points, picked up 4 fouls. Did you adjust your strategy a little bit when it looked like he wasn't playing to the level he was playing in the first half?
Well, I'm going to disagree with the non-factor because those guys got wide open shots because they were face guarding Dez. So if Dez isn't on the floor, we probably don't get the shots that we would have gotten. We had good open looks and we just didn't make them. But did we make an adjustment? You know, we made what we thought were a few adjustments, and we felt like if we could ever get into the 1-and-1s, which it seemed like an eternity, from here to eternity, it's a great movie, but it's also a lot to deal with when you're a basketball coach waiting to get in the 1-and-1s. And, you know, my staff, my assistants were just, talk to the officials, talk to the officials. You need to talk to the officials. And I said, I don't need to talk to the officials. I know every one of them. I don't need to introduce myself. I'm trying to joke. I'm trying to have jokes over there with the guys. I got to get my staff to relax a little bit. Normally it's me, but it wasn't. It was those guys tonight. And
Question right here in the middle.
Barry, can you talk about the matchup tomorrow with Indiana State and also, you know, your team entering a new stage at this point?
yeah, it's a big stage for us. It's not a new stage for Indiana State. Classic game, great coach, good players. The poster boy for Amish basketball, Jake Odom, my favorite player in the league. I love that kid. I love him. And I know, I've watched them play the last 5 or 6 games. They played really well today. They played great. The Indiana State that I know of played today, and it's going to be a heck of a ball game. We're going to have to really play well. And we've got 3 guys that played 38, 39, 39, and we got to make sure that we get them rest.
Back on the right.
Rewinding just a little bit. Game's close. Panthers are right on you, and then you see a full court heave going down the court to Anthony Bean. What's on your mind there?
What's what like? Oh, when that pass was made?
Yeah.
Oh, God, please catch
Scared the
it.
heck out of me. I
No,
was
I
sitting in the
really
camera roll right where that ball was going.
You remember Bill Cosby? Don't check my underwear, so. Hey, guys, I'll tell you what this game was about to us. And it's pretty, it's to me, it's summed up really easily. We had to guard. And we made our minds up. We made our minds up that we were going to make Tuttle beat us, or that's it. We told our players all along, Bohannon and Buss and Morgan cannot beat us from the 3. Just can't do it. I've watched Ben's teams, Greg's teams over the years at Northern. You can't let those guys. And I knew Tuttle would have a big night coming in, but we harassed him. We made him work for everything that he got. I mean, he got 7 offensive rebounds right there in front of our bench one time on one possession because Devontae, he was at concession stand. But it was a game that we made our mind up that they had to beat us inside and not from the arc. And normally it's the other way around, but that was our whole intent. and we had to guard on the perimeter, and we had to guard those guys, specifically Bohannon and Buss and Morgan. That was our big deal.
Back on the aisle.
Hey, Barry, Jeff Early did not have a great game at here last season. When did you know that Jackson was tuned in tonight and was going to?
He made his first shot, and the way he made it, it wasn't a great shot. We talked about coming out of the locker room, and we said, okay, guys, let's get it to the third and fourth side, first possession, because we never win the tip, ever. We never win the tip. God, we were surprised that we won the tip. And I mean, it's like a lottery bet at Vegas. You know, you're never going to win the tip. And we won the tip, and we said, all right, let's move it. Let's get it to the third, fourth side. And Des took 2 dribbles and shot it off the first pass. And he made it. I looked at Tom, I said, God, I'm glad I worked all week on trying to get that ball to the third and fourth side. That really worked well for us. And Tom goes, leave him alone. I said, okay, that's good coaching. Get out of his way, let him play.
Anything else for the head coach of the Salukis?
Okay, guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Northern Iowa Panthers are here. Seth Tuttle, Wes Westplan, Jeremy Morgan representing the on the court student athletes. We're going to go right into questions with them and wait for Coach Jake to finish his radio and come up here. So if there are questions for the 3 student athletes, start now. It's right here.
Jeremy, were you guys a little, not just you, the team-wise, were you guys a little bit tight there to start the game?
Yeah, I think we obviously came out a little bit slow in the first half, and then we got behind so far. It wasn't enough in the second half. So.
Back on the left-hand side.
Seth, talk a little. Once you guys had tied it up, did you I know a game's never over, but did you feel like maybe you've gotten over the hump and were poised to win the thing?
Yeah, I mean, after that first half, they had all the momentum. Halftime, we made a small adjustment, a little after halftime, I guess. And we got on a roll there. We dug ourselves out of the hole that we got ourselves, obviously. We got the ball game tied. We got to stop even when it was tied. I think it was an offensive rebound by Bowl, the putback and one. We had the plays. We had the play. We got the stop. We didn't get the rebound to get us over that hump. But yeah, I mean, I felt like we had all the momentum there going. We were on a roll. I feel like we might have got them back on their heels a little bit, like they had us in the first half, and they made the big plays to win the ball game.
Right here. Okay. Side.
Let's just talk about when you guys were kind of back into the corner there in that second half, just the attack mode that you went into to get back in the game.
Yeah, we just kind of picked up the intensity, and tried to be the first to the floor every time and the first to all loose balls and just pick up our rebounding, our defensive intensity to try to get us back into the game, and I feel like we did that.
Seth, what does this do for motivation in the off season to get you prepared, motivated, returning the majority of the team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we could use this year or the 2 previous to motivate us. You know, hopefully we can use it to motivate us. I know I sure will. I'm gonna have one more crack at it. So we're gonna be going hard again this summer like we did, or this upcoming summer like we did this summer, and hopefully, you know, hopefully find a way.
Seth, what do you think the biggest struggle for you guys was in the first half?
I think that they just played really good defense. You know, they pressured the ball handler. I feel like what really hurt us might have been them denying the wings. It hurt us in getting into our sets, getting into what we wanted to run. It slowed things down, and then for me personally, they did a great job of fronting the post. It seemed like even in transition, they were running to my high side. And they executed what their coach's game plan was perfectly, and obviously it showed in the first half.
Right here.
With what you just said there, how much did that cause the frustration level? How much did that, feed into that?
I mean, we might have been a little frustrated. We obviously we've been down numbers like that before. We were down 20 at Drake, and we fought our way back. I think we tied the game then too. So I mean, I mean, there was obviously no quitting in any player, any coach. There never would be. So I don't know if it was necessarily frustration. We needed that timeout or that halftime, to regroup. And we did that, and we came out in the second half with a lot different attitude.
Stay here.
Jeremy, can you just talk a little bit about the defensive adjustment on Desmar there in that second half?
The first half, he really got going. He was knocking down his threes, and we weren't pressuring him enough. So the second half, we tried to get up into him a little bit more, make those shots a lot harder than they were in the first half.
Okay, gentlemen, we'll dismiss the 3 of you. Thank you very much for your time at this late hour. We're going to stay here with Coach Ben Jacobson for a while longer. Questions for the head coach? All right there.
Jake, what are you going to look to most, the last 3 minutes of the first half when they extended it, or the last 3 minutes of the second half where you had it tied and then they kind of had more?
I think, as big as those 2 times were, Carson, I think bigger was the first probably 8 to 10 minutes of the game. Barry did a better job getting his guys ready than I did, and that that obviously cost us an opportunity to be close at halftime. And they came out, at their place they did a little bit of that where they came out and pressured and tried to deny some passes. So we'd seen it from them before. But they've played a lot of zone, gone back and forth with their man in their zone. And at our place, when we beat them, they denied some passes there as well. But they were more aggressive in this game defensively. And something that I talked about with my assistants and that I thought about. They have a couple of options as to how they can play, and I did not do a good enough job of having our guys ready for them fronting the post and denying passes. And obviously this change we made with our offense in the second half gave us a lot of opportunities against what they were doing. One that should have been made in the first half.
Ben, your team shot the 3 pretty well the last couple weeks. How hard was it to generate some momentum and take the lead without making one?
Well, as well as they played defensively and as poorly as we handled it, we still had some pretty good opportunities. You know, we still had a couple around the rim. We still had, you know, Bo had a couple of good looks from the three-point line, and there was a couple other open threes. You know, Wes has been a pretty high percentage shooter, and he was open, and Jeremy had one. So we didn't lack for some other opportunities to score in the first half. And if some of those go and it stays at 5 or 6 or 7, you know, then it's maybe a little different game. But we've been, you know, we've shot the three-point shot very well. You know, the entire league season, you know, we've shot the ball well from there, and you know, our team has grown into a team that, you know, Seth is going to touch the ball, and then we're going to play out of that. And tonight in the first half, we weren't able to get him some of those same touches, and I think that slowed us down a little bit. But again, there were some good looks from the three-point line.
Jake, can you talk about when you guys were struggling to get anything going early, what Seth gave you? He nearly had a double-double at half, and even though you were down, he kind of single-handedly kept you in it there for stretches.
Yeah, the play, I don't know if it was, you know, if it was the 10-minute mark or the 11-minute mark when he and Marvin went back and forth with the offensive rebounds. That sequence that I believe cut it to 2 at 15 to 13 or somewhere in that area. I thought that was the sequence in the play that was going to get us playing right. You know, going to get us defending a little bit better and doing a little bit better job on Jackson, and get us going a little bit more offensively in transition and just moving a little bit better. I felt like that play was going to be the one, and obviously he was a huge part of that play. But to get 17 rebounds in this game and just shows he's continued what he's done for quite a while now, and came out here tonight and played extremely well. I just wish I would have helped him a little bit more.
Right in the center.
Coach, despite that first half, team battles back, just like in that Drake game. What do you think that says about the team, their willingness to battle back, and how similar were the two halftimes between this one and that Drake game?
Oh, they were different. Yeah, they were different. You know, and I don't, you know, so I think Seth maybe commented on it. You know, I would have been extremely surprised had we not, you know, fought back. You know, that you know, that the kind of guys that we're dealing with, and the guys that we've got in our program, the leadership that we have from the players in our program, you know, that's not something that again, I'd have been extremely surprised had we not stood in there and fought. So obviously proud of the guys for doing that, but not surprised.
Yeah, I heard all week that the rebounding battle was going to be, you know, key. You guys won it by 10. Why wasn't that
right
much of a difference?
Yeah. It goes to what I talked about, Carson, in terms of them coming out and pressuring the ball a little more, and then denying passes a little more than what they had, and then getting in front of Seth and making it tough to get him touches, led us to standing around a little bit. And you know, had I had a little better plan for some of that, I think we could have had a better offensive half, and then the rebounding comes into play. I think the rebounding then gets us over the hump. But that had us standing still for too long in that first half. And again, there were some opportunities and some open shots and some ones that we missed. But that kind of set the tempo for the game in that first half, and I thought that ended up being a bigger key than the rebounding. And I didn't think that anything would be bigger than rebounding in tonight's game.
We have time for 2 more questions. This one from the back of the room, then we'll finish here.
Coach, heading into the tournament, you had said you felt like your team was playing the best basketball of the year.
Yep.
High hopes for a chance at the championship this weekend.
Right.
I guess how disappointing or deflating is it to be heading home?
Yeah, very disappointing. To come in here with a young group that had gotten better and a lot better in the last 3 weeks, and that's some important things, namely our defense and our rebounding. So the way that we had played, we certainly felt like we had an opportunity to not only win tonight, but give Indiana, now being Indiana State, you know, play well in that game and have a chance to get ourselves into Sunday. You know, our guys, there was no doubt that our guys felt like we could be playing on Sunday and that we could win on Sunday. And so to get knocked out tonight's disappointing.
How much thought have you given to specifically next year, 2014-15, just finding some consistency as far as this program is concerned?
As far as
Maybe getting back to the tournament and how big that would be to keep this momentum going that you have.
yeah, I haven't given any thought to that. You know, we've got some conversations to have now about whether we're going to continue to play this year. So I guess I haven't given thought to next year's team yet, Carson. I don't. So I don't have an answer for you in terms of that. That'll. You know, the only thing I would say is that, you know, playing for a championship in our league and playing in the NCAA tournament will continue to be at the top of our list. You know, that's not going to change. You know, playing a really tough, hard non-conference schedule and doing everything we can to put our players and our program in a position to play in the NCAA tournament, that won't change. Now it's now it's a matter when we get to that point and we get past this season, you know, sitting down and figuring out what exactly it is that we have to do to give ourselves a better chance next year.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ben.
Yeah, thanks.
Best of luck.
NCAA March Madness is coming to St. Louis. When the final buzzer sounds, only the best will advance to the NCAA Sweet 16. Experience it live. Catch second and third round action of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship March 21st and 23rd at Scott Trade Center, hosted by the Missouri Valley Conference. Single session tickets start at $66 and are available for a limited time. Visit ncaa.com/MBB tickets and make a date with champions.